Adaptations are characteristics that organisms have developed from their environment. Any characteristic an animal has is for a reason and has evolved to help them survive. There are three types of adaptations. There are behavioral, structural, and physiological adaptations. Behavioral adaptations are ways that organisms act to aid their own survival. A common example of this is the migration of animals. This aids their survival because some of them do this to escape harsh weather conditions and go to other regions that will provide food. Structural adaptations are adaptations that are within the body of the organism. Examples of this are thorns on flowers or the fur on an animal that aids in camouflaging from a predator. And finally, physiological adaptations are associated with processes that happen within the body, like desert animals having efficient kidneys that decrease water loss from urine. Adaptations also vary on if the animal is a predator or prey. Predators have front-facing eyes that provide accurate vision that helps them with their performance in catching prey. Front-facing eyes allow predators to have depth perception as well as peripheral vision, which is being able to look on your sides. Their teeth have also adapted to eat meat. They have canines at the front of their mouth for tearing at the meat on their prey. Although all predators are not always just carnivores, some can eat plant matter as well. Predators can also use camouflage to sneak up on their prey with stealth and speed. Prey, on the other hand, usually have eyes on the sides of their heads. This helps them keep an eye out in all directions for predators. Since most prey are not carnivores, they usually have molars for chewing plant material, as well as having camouflaged abilities to help disguise them from predators. Adaptations, like I stated before, are dependent on the environment. This way, animals can survive in the environment that they are commonly found in. Polar bears are an example of animals that can survive in cold environments from adaptations. They live in the tundra at the Arctic near the North Pole. They have adapted to specifically live in that cold, icy biome. They have thick white fur that protects them from the cold, while also camouflaging them in the white landscape. Another unique thing about their fur is a greasy coating that allows them to dive into the water for their prey while staying warm and drying quickly afterwards. They also have large feet that act like snowshoes and prevents them from sinking into the ground. Polar bears do not hibernate, but can retreat into their dens, most common in pregnant females, to ensure that they and the cubs stay warm. Another method that keeps them warm is a layer of fat all over their body. This insulates the heat and helps them survive. Now let's look at a hot environment. In the opposite climate and environment, we have the camel that has adapted to live in very hot and arid areas like Egypt and Morocco in the North African region. These animals, much like polar bears, have adapted to live there. They have light-colored fur that allows them for little to no absorption of heat from the sun, and those humps that they are so famous for are fat. They store all their fat on one area of their body instead of all over like the polar bear, to prevent the insulation that the polar bear needs. Much like the polar bears, they have large padded feet to protect from the hot sand, but also so they don't sink into the sand, as well as having stretchy nostrils and long eyelashes to keep the sand out of their nose and eyes. Like previously discussed, in physiological adaptations, camels have very efficient kidneys that create highly concentrated urine to decrease water loss. Now that we've seen some awesome adaptations, I encourage you to look at animals in your area with curiosity. Investigate why a bird is a specific color, or why a squirrel has a bushy tail. You might be amazed with what you find out.